All right, and today we are starting up with Evil Geniuses versus CLG. Evil Geniuses coming off the really good performance yesterday, utilizing that damage-heavy comp against 100 Thieves to really run that game. CLG, their first game of this week, and, I think we're going to be looking to see them kind of come into this split really strong, especially with Pobelter looking there just from the amount of experience and practice and ability that he brings to the mid lane. It's going to be a pretty hot mid lane matchup with both him and Jizuke being prime carries and very consistent players for their team. Looking at the bans so far, we've got 2 from Evil Geniuses going towards Ruin, going towards that top lane, really making sure that CLG are kind of denied some of those safe initiation picks with the Ornn and the Set. CLG, on the other hand, targeting Bang pretty heavily, hitting him with 2, removing the Callista and the Varus. 2 pretty high damage picks, Varus with a lot of poke, although neither champions that were played yesterday for Evil Geniuses, or neither of those champions are something that they have brought out this split, so maybe something they're seeing in scrims or just champions that they feel are powerful. Either way, they're showing that they feel a lot of threat from Bang in that bot lane, trying to remove some of the power picks down there. Evil Geniuses, their last ban going towards Pobelter, denying him the Syndra, that safe pick. We're seeing Syndra banned pretty consistently so far. I mean, a pretty safe pick with high damage, good CC, a champion that I think a lot of the mid laners will have a lot of strength should they choose to run it. Evil Genius is locking in that 80 carry first pick, getting Bang the Aphelios, making sure that in spite of 2 bans being taken away, he still has a powerful carry that he can play. Once again, we've seen him on Aphelios now 2 games in a row, and he has performed very well. CLG grabbing that Ezreal Yuumi, grabbing that safe bottom lane with a lot of poke damage, likely going to run the blue Ezreal build, going to be very poke heavy, not as much consistent damage as something like an Aphelios can bring, not as much of that just shredding damage, but very high poke damage, especially when paired with Yuumi boosting his ability power, his AD, as well as her own poke from the crawling projectile. We're going to have a very poke heavy bot lane, especially it looks like we're getting a Lulu for probably Zeyzal. I can't really see that going to Jizuke. So Evil Genius is playing a very safe bot lane, playing a farm heavy lane for Aphelios, probably going to look to build him up some CS leads, get him a few items before trying to make anything big happen down there. But with the Lulu, he is going to be safe with the shield, the speed boost, the ability to use that ultimate once they hit 6 to make a gank happen, or to just make sure that he gets out of a fight alive. The Lulu is going to allow for a lot of control against that poke. That shield going to be really important. Zeyzal's going to have to be on point with those, kind of making sure to catch any of the Qs from those from the empowered Ezreal that the Yuumi is going to bring down there, and really allow for Bang to CS safely and get out of this lane without being punished too hard, because Stixxay and Smoothie running that Ezreal Yuumi are going to have a lot of ability to pretty safely poke and be able to push a little farther than some lanes are, with Ezreal's Arcane Shift able to get both of them, since Yuumi will jump with him, able to get both of them out pretty safely, so they can push a little far forward. As long as they have ward, as long as they have vision and control down there, they'll be able to pretty safely be farther and kind of pushing the bounds of where they should be without being able to be punished too hard, especially with that Trundle looking to probably go to Svenskeren, making sure, giving him that just safe, tanky pick that can clear the jungle and do the main objectives pretty safely, be a very solid frontline wall for his team. Now, looking at bans, they're taking away the Malphite on CLG, making sure to deny Kumo that really hard engage, that AP threat, taking away the Zoe from Pobelter, a champion that he has shown to be very, very good on, able to land some of those really long range Qs. Taking away the LeBlanc from Jizuke. The LeBlanc we've seen banned against a lot of the teams that have really strong mid laners. We've seen it banned against Bjergsen, now Jizuke. I wouldn't be surprised to see that banned against Pobelter or Niski either. Just the burst damage potential, the ability to get a pick, able to really do a lot of work for their team. And CLG had hovered that Galio a lot earlier, so it looks like Evil Geniuses are just seeing that, getting the read, and taking that away, gonna force Ruin onto something else. Them having targeted him with 3 bans, looking to take away a lot of Ruin's options here, especially with CLG banning the Malphite as well. That's now 4 top lane bans, with neither top laner actually having a choice. And that's going to be a Nidalee probably for Wiggly, adding to that poke potential, but also the burst potential with Nidalee, especially with that Jace, able to both jump in on somebody should the spear or a trap apply that mark. Wiggly's going to be able to get in very quickly and apply a lot of damage, which paired with Ruin, who I'm assuming we're going to see that Jace go top lane. It could go on Pobelter, but I would be a lot more surprised to see that played mid lane. We've seen it top quite a few times, especially with just how tank heavy the top lane has been, something with that range, something with that damage to kind of abuse, push, shove the lane, and roam has been used quite a bit. It looks like Jizuke is going to take the Twisted Fate, going to have that safe pick that also allows him a lot of map control, allows him the ability to jump around and make something happen in other lanes, rather than playing for individual lane domination, but he'll be able to push that lane in fast and make moves elsewhere on the map. EG looking to, once again, play for that objective control, probably play for a lot of heavy reliance on making sure they win those dragon fights, try to push for slow turret plates, make sure that they do maybe give up some of the early game, but end up with these controlled plays that get them like major objectives over just winning individual lane the whole game. So it looks like it's going to be Cassiopeia for Pobelter, which is an interesting pick here, as both of these champions with Twisted Fate, Cassiopeia, they're both relatively safe, and they're both able to push the lane in really hard. So we're going to see a lot of back and forth there. Pobelter roaming a lot less, with Cassiopeia not able to get boots, not able to get that speed up, but running the cleanse to make sure that she can get rid of the yellow card. It looks like Stixay running cleanse as well. Going to make sure that he can jump out rather than accidentally overstep just a little too far, get picked off by the pick potential that Evil Geniuses has, thanks to that yellow card, as well as the charge from Poppy, which Poppy's going to allow them a lot of control in these fights around where the jungle is, around where the walls are. So Evil Geniuses, once again, look like they're having a very objective-focused comp. They're not really playing for individual lane domination. They're not playing a lot of bully champions. Trundle not really looking to go into your opponent's jungle and mess with them at all. That's going to be more something that we could expect from the Nidalee here. Maybe she'll try and make some early plays against the Trundle with the kind of advantage that she has in movement, as well as her early game damage potential, especially in a 1v1. And then the Ezreal Yuumi both able to poke and bully in that lane. So I think we're going to look to CLG to see them try to claim some early game advantage. Otherwise, I think we can see this game slowly going into Evil Genius's favor. Really just culminating in another comp where the later the game goes, the further ahead they will get. But it's also going to be on CLG here to just play for some of these early game advantages. Don't let them get that objective control. And I can see CLG's comp kind of running away with the game, getting some damage onto Ruin, damage onto Wiggly, damage onto Stixay, really creating these burst threats that are going to make Evil Genius's life a lot harder. Because if you get rid of Bang, then I think the main damage threat from Evil Geniuses is gone. But if you get rid of Jizuke, then a lot of their CC goes away. If you get rid of Zazel, there's a lot of advantage to picking quite a few of the members of Evil Geniuses off. So if CLG gets the ability to do that, if they get, and Kumo going for that dash, but missing the wall, taking quite a bit of damage from that first trade, the range advantage that Ruin has, able to get him quite a bit there. But yeah, like I think CLG, we're going to see a lot of just trying to get some advantages so that way they can really create damage threats, because they have a lot less of the front line. They don't really have a main tank. They don't have a lot of that objective control, a lot of that consistent damage out of anyone really except Pobelter, and Pobelter's is mainly only single target. He's looking to get one person and just spam the poison fangs there. And without that, I think we're going to have to look to CLG to really just be bursting people trying to get picks. So they're going to be needing to get a lot of vision control here. Pobelter and Jizuke trading quite a bit of damage in the mid lane. Jizuke taking the worst side of that down to a little over half HP already. Stixay and Smoothie actually getting bullied quite a bit by Zeyzal and Bang, really taking advantage of that sniper rifle there to use the range increase and be harassing them. Stixay making sure to try and just continue the farm, make sure that in spite of any of these damage threats that they are staying on even terms here. Looks like Kumo in the top hasn't really taken too much more damage. Ruin running that phase rush to allow him to really keep up with or disengage from any fights that he tries to engage. Jizuke and Pobelter just really trying to both trying to shove the lane, it seems. Jizuke making good use of those red cards. Svenskeren looking to kind of prod around in that side of the jungle there. Going for the Scuttle Crab. Wiggly nearby, but Wiggly at much lower HP. The safer jungling from Trundle allowing him to stay much more topped off. Still has both charges of his potion left. Nidalee, on the other hand, having spent both of hers. Both of them completing their first full clear, though. Trundle going to recall Nidalee, choosing to, looks like, look for a gank, or possibly just playing for that upper side of the map Scuttle Crab. Not really able to gank too heavily. We're seeing an on your way ping into that top jungle. Might be trying to do something up top here with Ruin. I mean, Ruin's pushing quite a bit into Kumo here. Getting a lot of poke damage on, pushing the lane in. He's got a 5 CS lead already. Wiggly now claiming that top Scuttle Crab. Back up to full HP and full mana thanks to the fruits there. Svenskeren spotting him out. Ruin and Kumo going to just continue their little duel, but no real advantage playing out into that lane just yet. Svenskeren just going to continue clearing his jungle, keeping his health and mana pretty full, not having too much of an issue there. He has completed the first stage of his jungle item, upgrading it to the knife. So he has quite a bit more ability to clear and is definitely going to be looking for ganks soon now that he's able to clear those camps and stay a lot healthier with that higher damage potential. Ruin now looking to goes in for a fight on Kumo, but Kumo blocks him with the Steadfast Presence, making for a decent trade there. But now Svenskeren coming running up the lane, drops the Frozen Domain, gets smashed back by Ruin. Svenskeren going to use the pillar flash in from Kumo, but a flash from Ruin makes him get out to safety. No issue there. Yellow card from Jizuke is going to get some damage on a Pobelter. The minions are favoring him, so he's doing quite a bit of damage here. Under the turret, Pobelter taken to just below half HP as Jizuke throws a blue card. He's probably going to take a turret shot in exchange for that. Ruin forced to teleport back to lane. Kumo going to recall himself as the lane has pushed back to the middle. Pobelter forced to recall as well. Svenskeren looking to play towards that dragon pit as Bang and Zeyzal have continued to push, continue to make problems in that bot lane. CS staying about even across the board. A little bit of an advantage over to Wiggly as the gank from Svenskeren cost him a little bit of that clear time that Wiggly has otherwise just continued to push for. Svenskeren clearing his raptors, but staying near the dragon pit. Looks like Wiggly is eyeing that area as well. Going to use the oracles to check and make sure that there is no issue there. Spotting out the ward with that. A lot of damage onto Stixay here as a slow from Zeyzal and a couple autos from Bang make a quite significant dent in his health there. Smoothie going to jump onto him, start that healing, make sure that he is topped off as much as possible for the impending dragon fight that has been looming. Takes a bunch of damage from Zeyzal and an auto from Bang, forced to arcane shift out to safety back to his turret. Svenskeren trying to clear out some wards, get some vision here. Jizuke and Pobelter both fighting to push out their lane here, try to get that mid lane control. Wiggly now looking for a gank, although he's stepping on a vision ward, so Jizuke is going to know he's there, not going to have much of a gank presence, going to instead opt for clearing out that ward. Svenskeren moving into that way. Kumo coming into the jungle, that's going to be a stun onto Wiggly. He's followed up with a gold card, that's a bunch of damage. Kumo dropping the Steadfast Presence, not allowing him to jump out. First blood for Jizuke there. a really good play, a really good roam, and Ruin hadn't even left his lane, so that's going to be no issue from there. And that's a Q steadfast, or that's a charge from Kumo Jizuke using the ult to go up top, and that's a follow-up kill, a second kill for Jizuke there. EG are just starting off strong with a really good play that Ruin didn't seem to be following up on at all. He was not ready for that at all, staying in lane the entire time. The lane is about center. Jizuke starting to fight Pobelter, just push out the lane, sees Kumo is coming. Pobelter takes the long way around knowing that EG is there, and Kumo starting it off with that stun that is able to be followed up by the gold card, leaves Wiggly CC'd for so long that he stood really no chance there. Kumo landing a bunch of damage to start off this fight with Ruin starting off the CC, followed up by Jizuke coming in with the ult, having the gold card ready, immediately CC's Ruin, Svenskeren there to help follow up just in case, and 2 kills very cleanly for Evil Geniuses. And now here looking at the bot lane, we have Bang and Zeyzal continuing to shove that lane in as much as possible, building a slight CS lead, only about 5 ahead, but that is countered by, in the jungle, we're looking at 12 CS ahead for Wiggly and 15, 16 ahead for Ruin, who, even though he did lose those kills there, did use the opportunity to get a bit of a CS advantage, playing that range advantage over Poppy to make sure that he has something to speak for all of the trouble that he is causing up there. Pobelter and Wiggly in the jungle, passing that blue off to Pobelter, going to allow him a lot more lane pressure, allow him to spam those abilities with that cooldown reduction and significantly increased mana regeneration. Blue on Jizuke as well. Both of those mid laners going to be able to push out their lane and have a lot of control as much as possible. Stepping into the red side, red jungle, Jizuke going to clear out a vision ward, start moving towards Kumo, who is pushed into the tower, and Ruin, knowing that Jizuke was on the way, going to fall back. Wiggly looking for a gank. That's the ult from Smoothie, going to root Bang. That's a really good spear from Wiggly, going to jump in. He's going to get exhausted. Bang ulted by the Lulu, going to be huge. Svenskeren coming in. That's a bunch of damage onto Wiggly for the follow-up, and Stixay nearly killed himself as Evil Geniuses turn that around beautifully with a really well-timed exhaust from Zeyzal, preventing a lot of that damage from Nidalee, allowing Bang to just get into that fight and continue to do damage. And now up in the top lane, Kumo and Ruin continue to just duke it out, but no one really getting a huge advantage there. Svenskeren and Zeyzal just doing this dragon here now that they have pushed Wiggly and Stixay away. This is going to be safe, no contest, very easy. First Infernal over to Evil Geniuses as they're now up 3 kills in a dragon, nearly 2,000 gold at 10 minutes. Jizuke just continuing to push Pobelter into that turret, has claimed one of the plates and is halfway to a plate claimed for Kumo in the top lane as well, as he has pushed Ruin off and really taken advantage of those pushes. Svenskeren and Jizuke waiting in the wings around mid lane here. Smoothie hiding just out of vision just in case something goes wrong here. Wiggly there as well, but he is also near a ward, so Wiggly will likely be spotted out if he goes a little farther. Jizuke just continuing to use those cards to push his way through the lane, make sure that he can very safely push Pobelter back so he's not pushed under tower or forced into a bad situation. Wiggly hovering around this bot lane again, just kind of continuing to CS his jungle as Stixay has been pushing out alone. Bang and Zeyzal now back in lane, Smoothie returning to him to make sure that he is not caught out. Svenskeren just starting off the Rift Herald, knowing that Wiggly is bot lane. He knows that there's not much pressure here. No one to steal this away from him. Bang, landing the root off of the rocket launcher. They're going to start hitting with the flamethrower, deal a bunch of damage, take Stixay to half health, and he's going to, there's Zeyzal and Bang going to blow up Stixay before Wiggly can even get there. A really good ultimate from Zeyzal going to cancel the dash from Wiggly, and Bang just going to immediately follow up and finish him off. 2 kills in a 2-for-3 bot lane. Really well played from Evil Geniuses there. Now Jizuke looking for the dive onto Smoothie. He's got nowhere to go. He's just going to get CC'd, knocked up down a peg, and they're going to take some turret plates in exchange. Jizuke really utilizing that ultimate now twice for 2 kills in reward, and now he's got 5 stacks on that ring. Jizuke playing the Twisted Fate very, very well. Bang now going to take the last plate off of that turret and just leave it to start finishing the minions. The Rift Herald going down in the top lane to finish that turret. Kumo taken very low, but Ruin really unable to push him as he doesn't know where Svenskeren is, and he could be waiting in the wings. And here we're looking at the replay of that Bang and Zeyzal 2v2 against Stixay Smoothie, where Wiggly came in to help out. pushing a little hard, trying to get some poke damage. Bang, landing that Q, following up, and then utilizing the root from the rocket launcher to then be able to follow up with the speed boost from Zeyzal to get a bunch of damage here. Get him to about half health. Stixxay going too early, jumping in. Bang takes that spear, but right as Wiggly's about to land the dash, the ultimate from Zeyzal going to knock him up and cancel all of the damage, and then he can follow up along with Bang to kill Wiggly very quickly. And now a roam from Jizuke, followed by a bunch of damage from Kumo. Ruin now 0-2, taking a bunch of damage, taking a lot of hurt, and really just getting shoved in by Poppy, who has built a ton of armor, and the little bit of lethality that Ruin has built, just not enough to continue making him much of a threat. Kumo able to just push him in really hard and has continued to just start to bully him out, catching up that CS lead down to 7 CS now, as Kumo able to just really make an issue there. He's got 1,000 gold lead thanks to those 3 assists in spite of being a little behind in CS. Really just gold leads on the side of Evil Geniuses for every member, some very significant, as in spite of the CS leads that some members of CLG have, the objective control, the kill pressure that Evil Geniuses has had this entire game, really just allowing them to run through here with 3 kills each on Jizuke and Bang. 7,000 gold in their favor, as 7 kills and 2 turrets to 0 on CLG's side. And they've really just taken advantage of these early game leads, taking a bunch of turret plates, getting that gold lead, especially on a team that scales as much harder as theirs does, having a well-rounded front line, significant sources of AP and AD damage. A lot of CLG's power is lost in the fact that they don't have control here. EG has much deeper wards. They have vision all throughout CLG's jungle. They know where CLG is and are really able to deny a lot of their pick potential, because CLG just can't really roam. They can't make plays. They can't catch people out when Evil Geniuses just know where they are. And a lot of that is also negated by the Twisted Fate. The couple times Jizuke has gone to move somewhere when he pops that ultimate, Evil Geniuses get to know who might be nearby, where he might be jumping into a bad play, or where a play might need to be abandoned because of nearby CLG members who might be showing up. They have so much safety thanks to their vision control that combined with the gold lead are just allowing them to really run away with this game here. Jizuke now taking farm from CLG's jungle as Stixxay and Smoothie have rotated mid. Pobelter rotating bot lane to contend with Bang as Svenskjern immediately starts this dragon, as Bang now rotating down to help him, having pushed that bottom lane to its inner turret. Wiggly nowhere nearby to really interfere here. Stixxay and Smoothie pushed into their turret at mid lane. Kumo shoving in top. Evil Geniuses just had full control of the map for that, making that dragon incredibly easy and under 0 pressure. And now it looks like they might be rotating either mid or to Baron here. They might be looking to try and make a play, or I guess the Rift Herald, as Baron still hasn't spawned. We're only at 15 minutes with this 7,000 gold lead and a bunch of damage as Jizuke teleports top, lands the gold card. Kumo following up immediately. Another kill onto Ruin, a very easy kill onto Ruin, as Evil Geniuses are just once again proving that they are running away with this game. Taking that top lane turret, taking the mid lane turret at the same time. Evil Geniuses now 4 turrets to 0. The second tier turrets only standing in the mid and bottom lanes. All the other outer turrets gone. Evil Geniuses really getting map control, really just solidifying all of their areas of vision, denying them to CLG, really making it so that way Wiggly has not been able to actually get into trying to assassinate or get a pick on anybody. His life has been so hard, especially with repeated ganks down to the bot lane denied by really good ultimates from Zeyzal, timed perfectly to stop the dashes, interrupt the movement and the damage, and allow for a very easy return fire from Bang. That Lulu pick has been a really good draft, just allowing for so much safety from Evil Geniuses, so much ability to push back from an otherwise very poke heavy comp that could have run amok had it been allowed to get a bit of a lead. But Evil Geniuses keeping a tight grip on this game from start to now, nearly at 10,000 gold lead at 16 minutes. 2 dragons up, next dragon and Baron both spawning at about the same time in about 3 minutes. Stixxay farming the jungle a bit, but Wiggly kind of jumping in to say, no, that's mine, I need that, I am behind too. And now Evil Genius is looking to push up the mid lane. All of the lanes pushing in their favor. Looks like bot lane has been reset by Ruin, so that should meet about in the middle. But Kumo up top, making sure that that lane does not get pushed back in. Evil Genius is pushing in mid with 4. And Stixay, Wiggly, Ruin, their poke not enough to slow them down as Svenskeren making sure to get that turret. Gets the ult from Lulu, the ult from Smoothie, not doing enough, not rooting anybody. Pobelter getting caught in the wild. Wiggly getting a bunch of damage from Zazel and Bang. Bang's flamethrower wreaking havoc in the grouped up CLG. No kills either way, a lot of damage. Jizuke taken very low, but that's still going to be another turret in the favor of Evil Geniuses. Kumo just returning to the top lane to push that back out. There's now only one turret beyond the base left for CLG, and they haven't taken anything in response, not even a major objective, as Evil Genius is just going to take the second Rift Herald of the game now. Really just running rampant with these objectives, making sure that CLG can't even contest any of them, let alone actually hope to claim them. Bang now taking their red buff as well. Rift Herald going to be claimed by Svenskeren. CLG pushing really far in the bot lane, looking to get vision around that dragon pit as it is up in about a minute and a half here, getting claim on the Scuttle Crab, getting some vision a little deeper than their own side. Jizuke gonna find Ruin here. Ruin missing the Empowered Shock Blast, gonna take a bunch of damage here. The exhaust coming out. Bang gonna land that long range Q here, and Jizuke jumping over to Wiggly. It looks like Bang thought he was jumping in to finish the kill onto Ruin, started heading the other direction. Ruin running somewhere where he has nowhere to go. Bang just gonna go in here and make sure that he will get that kill. Looks like Ruin trying to run the execute timer out, but unable to be running for long enough before Bang was there to finish him off. That's going to be a kill over to Bang. Wiggly going down to a 3-man dive there in the bottom lane from Evil Geniuses. Svenskeren running at Stixay and Smoothie. His 0-4 tanky self able to be enough of a threat that the two of them were forced to arcane shift over the wall, jump back. Ezreal and Yuumi just not scary enough to really deter Svenskeren from making that push. The Lich Bane on Jizuke really allowing him to shove this turret very quickly. That's going to be the last outer turret going into Evil Genius's hands. And now looking again at this bot lane, Jizuke going to use that ultimate, find Ruin, land the gold card, throw the exhaust and the Q out. Up top, Kumo gets a stun onto Wiggly into the wall. Jizuke jumping up that direction to help out, join in that gank as the three of them dive, get the kill very smoothly. Bang now just continuing to chase Ruin, make sure that he is not able to run that execute timer out. Ruin making it to the brush, drops the gate to try and get that bonus speed. The Q from Bang not even needing to land as the turret shot was enough. The timer had not run long enough, and a kill goes over to Aphelios, making him 4-0 at 20 minutes. And now they have crossed the barrier. They do have a 10,000 gold lead as we hit the 20-minute mark. Evil Genius is really far ahead in this game. Every member of their team just a stronger equivalent to CLG's. The Poppy now working on her third item plus boots is a monster tank, be able to prevent most of Ruin and Stixay's damage, really only threatened by Pobelter, being that he does not have lots of magic resist yet. But that's going to be the third dragon going over to Evil Geniuses, as CLG are in no position to even contest it. The attempted steal from the ult from Stixay, not going to quite be enough here. Jizuke roaming a little far, not knowing where Pobelter is here, but CLG not feeling confident enough to try and make that claim, to try and jump on him, not having vision, knowing where Evil Geniuses is, knowing who may be there to help him. Big Shock Blast going to deal half of Zazel's damage as Bang just continues to push up in this mid lane. Pobelter looking to play a little bit deep, but he might be caught out here. Two members of Evil Geniuses in between Wiggly and Pobelter, but Pobelter deep in the Evil Geniuses team, and he's taking a lot of damage, doing a lot in return, but it's not going to be enough as Svenskeren and Jizuke able to finish him off with a couple shots from Bang in there just for good measure. They're going to start taking his jungle and looking towards the Baron here. Unless they're turning around looking for that mid lane once again. Bang shoving this out hard. It looks like Svenskeren's pinging on the way, looking to start Baron while Pobelter is down. Jizuke continuing to push out some issue here, making sure that top lane is in their favor as they start this, summoning the Rift Herald to make just another headache that CLG has to deal with while they are taking this Baron very easily. Wiggly down by the Dragon Pit for some reason, not really sure why he's down there. looks like maybe just going for the Rift Scuttle, but Dragon's not up for 3.5 minutes. That was a very useless objective on CLG's side. They are being pushed into their base. That was not needed. This Rift Herald's actually going to get a charge off in spite of no members from EG defending it except Jizuke. It looked like a lapse in judgment there from CLG, not really responding to the right threats. And now Evil Geniuses up 6 turrets, 11 kills, and 3 dragons are sitting on a 12,000 gold lead as they back with the empowered recalls. Run back to the fight here. Kumo just continuing to shove this top lane in. Full HP, most of his mana under no worries here as the rest of EG return from spending all that gold with now Baron empowered minions at their back. Bang running towards Stixxay, getting a couple shots off here, taking almost half of his health with just a few autos, taking no damage in return thanks to the shield from Zeyzal. Pobelter arriving to help try and defend this mid lane as these Baron-empowered minions start to knock on the door. Kumo pushing in on the top lane. That turret very low thanks to the charge from Shelly. Kumo now just going to finish off this top lane turret and crack open the base as Evil Geniuses are just pushing all 3 lanes at once. Big ult from Stixxay deals a bunch of damage to Bang and Zeyzal, but they are not really threatened by this. The shields proving to be more than enough of a deterrent from Zeyzal here as Bang just continues to clear lots of minions. The Lich Bane from Jizuke allowing him to push in that bot lane quickly, deal a ton of damage to that tower. Bang not taking Stixxay to a 3rd HP very quickly, almost killing Wiggly. Wiggly down to a 1/4 HP. Jizuke knocking on that bot lane inhibitor. Mid lane having the minions cleared out, but really Kumo pushing in top, Jizuke pushing in bottom, Bang and Zeyzal pushing in mid lane. Evil Geniuses just making hell for CLG here as they take Pobelter down through the wall thanks to a bunch of damage from Bang, and Svenskeren's just running in, walking, being a frontline tank that can just walk towards whatever threat Evil Geniuses want to be rid of. Ruin trying to clear some minions, but Evil Geniuses just ignoring that final inhibitor, knocking on the Nexus, taking both turrets down very quickly, and they're just going to finish this game. 24 minutes, 15,000 gold, no kills or turrets to CLG. That was a steamroll. Evil Geniuses just start to finish showing us how to run a game as both the jungle pressure, the objective control, even in a team that didn't have the most favored lane matchups, that Jace should have been able to bully Poppy pretty heavily. But Evil Geniuses just played that so well that they ran the game. They had full control. They never gave the advantage that CLG needed to start that snowball, to start that game plan that it seemed like their team comp was going for, of getting vision, getting picks, and just utilizing being ahead of EG to really win these fights and to get these objectives and to claim that control that Evil Geniuses had a vice grip on from start to finish in that entire game. A really, really good showing from Evil Geniuses as they just gave a lesson to CLG on how to win a game in the cleanest manner possible.